Everyone keeps asking, will I take my job? Maybe, but that's not the question that should be keeping you up at night. The harder one is this. What if the thing you're spending years getting better at is already losing value, and you won't find out until it's too late to change course? Not because you're bad at it, not because you're lazy, because the rules changed while you were still playing by the old ones. Most people haven't noticed. Some of them are about to. Losing your job isn't the scariest thing it can do to your career. Never getting the chance to build one is every junior hire used to come with a known cost. They'd make beginner mistakes. Someone senior would catch those mistakes, fix them, explain the same thing twice. Every company that's ever hired an entry-level employee has accepted that cost as normal. It's just what training a new person looks like. I took over the exact tasks that cost was attached to: the first draft writing, the early data cleanup, the basic research. The parts of a job simple enough for a machine to do, but where a junior used to earn their seat while getting better. AI does those tasks now faster without needing to be checked twice. So the reason to absorb that cost: hire someone slow, let them get fast on the job, quietly stop applying. And it's not just that the easy work disappeared. What's left got harder to break into. The work I still can do is usually the same work a junior couldn't do on day one either. That's what the training period was for. So the bar for worth hiring quietly moved past where most juniors start. Not because they got worse, because the easy entry point is gone. Nobody got fired. Nobody got rejected. That's what makes this dangerous. There was nothing to notice. The job just never got posted. You didn't lose a competition. You weren't even told there was one. If you're a student, a career changer, or still early in your career, here's the part that matters most. Not getting the chance to prove yourself isn't the same as not being good enough. One is about you. The other was never about you at all. A lot of people still getting hired early walk in holding proof already, a portfolio, a project, something a hiring manager can look at. I just made looking good cheaper than being good, and that should worry you more than losing your job. For most of working history, you could tell whether someone was good at their job by looking at what they produced. A report either made sense or it didn't. The result was the proof. Nobody needed extra evidence because faking a good result was hard. It used to take real skill to make a piece of work look genuinely finished. Clean structure, a clear point, nothing sloppy. Now a tool can produce that finish in minutes, whether or not the thinking behind it ever happened. So the output looks competent, stopped reliably, meaning the person behind it is competent. And that gap is shrinking every year, not staying put. Whatever still gives away I polished piece of work today, an odd phrase, a too tidy structure, is exactly what won't give it away next year. You can get measurably better at your job this year and have nothing change, while the coworker 2 desks over who improved less gets noticed more, because they showed their work and you assumed yours would speak for itself. You're not short on ability, you're short on proof. The people getting noticed right now aren't always the most skilled. They're the ones whose work actually reaches someone, a manager, a client, a stranger online. I didn't just get better at helping you work. It got good enough to close the gap effort used to take years to close. For decades, the gap between a skilled person and an unskilled one closed mainly through repetition. Do something 1,000 times, you usually end up better than someone who'd done it 100. That's most of what Work Hard, Get Ahead was built on. Picture 2 people, each putting in 1,000 hours this year. One getting faster at writing product descriptions, the other getting better at handling tough conversations with clients face-to-face. I can already write a decent product description today. It's still much worse at reading a room and earning someone's trust in person. So 2 people can spend the exact same 1,000 hours this year and end up in completely different positions. The difference was never how hard they worked. It was whether I could already do the thing they were working so hard to get good at. AI doesn't have to take a skill away to make it worthless. It just has to make learning it optional. Excel didn't lose its value because it stopped working. It lost its value because everyone eventually had it. Going from rare skill to basic requirement used to take years. I shortened that by skipping the part where people have to learn the skill at all. A few years ago, building a clean slide deck or a sharp report was worth something specific. Now, a tool produces something close enough in seconds, so nobody has to spend years catching up. The clearest way to check if this is happening to a skill you're learning right now. If a tool can already do it about as well as you can today, Getting better at it yourself isn't building an edge. You're just catching up to where the tool already is. These 4 things aren't really about how good AI is. They're about 4 things that used to happen to you without trying, and now don't. You used to get a chance to learn on the job. Now you often have to go make that chance yourself. You used to get noticed for good work eventually. Now you usually have to show it to someone on purpose. You used to get ahead mostly by trying hard. Now it matters where you're trying. And a skill used to stay valuable for years before anyone caught up. Now that window can close before you've even finished learning it. 4 different problems. One thing underneath all of them. Less of this happens for you automatically. More of it is something you have to go do yourself. The risk was never doing too little. It's spending years doing a lot in exactly the place that stopped paying off.